Righto, we have got to create some circles. Now this symbol means diameter, not radius. Okay, so draw 3 circles at center point 0, 0, 0.25 diameter, 0.5 diameter, and 1.5. Now that says radii. This will be changed by the time you get these sheets to diameter. But follow this symbol. Okay, so let's go back into this as 0.25, 0.5 and 1.5 diameter. So circle tool, now you can draw the circle center diameter as opposed to center radius. So choose center diameter and go in and find the center point, and again hover over the side and then it'll pick up the center snap. And we're going to go 0.25, enter. These are very small circles, and then choose that again, and then you should be able to snap to the center of that. 0.5, enter, and then finally the third one. Just make sure you don't snap to the quadrant point. So again, this is one of the problems of having too many snaps set. It will jump around all over the place. So we'll just go down and turn off our quadrant, and then go back to the center point of this. And again, we've got intersection. So just a lesson in picking the right number of snaps. And this one, we're going to set it to 1.5 and then enter. So that gives us 3 circles at the center. Very small circles, but they are circles nonetheless. The next bit is going to be creating these. These are 10 mil diameter, and this is -8, 0, 8, 0, and 0, -8. Okay, so 10 mil diameter. And there's also a very small circle inside, offset the inside 4.875 mil to each, so we might come back to that one. So it's -8, 0, 8, 0, and 0, -8. So that's going to position these circles, and they are 10 mil in diameter, so 5 mil radius. So again, we can choose this one, and the first point is going to be -8, 0, enter, and we are going 10 for the size of the circle. Now we could mirror this circle, so we could select that circle, use the mirror command and pick a center point of that, and then drop it down, and then hit enter. Erase source object. See that little thing there on the end of the cursor? It says, do you want to erase the source object? No, so hit enter, and that's positioned 1 there. And then we've got to put the third one in, so again select this circle by diameter, and it's 0, -8, so that's -8 in the y direction. Enter, that's the center point. And then you notice that it says specify diameter of circle, and in brackets you've got 10, so it remembers the previous size that you've created. So you could just hit enter, and that's going to create that third circle. Now we've also got an offset of the value I can't quite remember, so the offset is 4.875. So we choose the offset tool, and it's going to be 4.875 as our value. Hit enter, and then we can select this and then come to the inside and then choose that and come to the inside again and choose this and come to the inside again. So that creates those 3 very small circles in the center. Now you notice that these circles look faceted like they are in SketchUp. They are not in AutoCAD. They do make smooth surfaces. So if I type in RE for regen and hit enter, you'll see them pop out to actually proper sized circles. Okay, so the RE will regenerate the whole drawing. There are reasons why it doesn't show all the smoothness of the circles at very small scales. It's simply because it's trying to save a bit of memory, but that's precisely what happens with RE. If you print these things out, they will print out circular, not faceted like they do in SketchUp. Okay, so that's put those things in. Let's move back down to this, and we've now got to create arrays. So we're going to create first of all create a little polyline, 0.25 mil long, and the global width of it, even though it says wide there, it's a global width that sets this 0.1. And from the various start points. Now once we've created one, we could use the center point of each of these circles to copy the other 2, because they're both, or all 3 of them are sitting at the 12 o'clock position. They are slightly different when you get to some of the other points, but this 12 o'clock position is going to stay the same for each of them. So we'll choose the polyline tool, and it's going to be -8 and 4.75, and then it's going to be 0.25 mil down and 0.1 of a mil thick. So let's just nip over to AutoCAD and choose the polyline tool, which is this one, and our specified start point is going to be -8, 4.75, enter. That's going to position it sort of centrally on that, and then we'll move it down, and it's going to be 0.25, enter. That's the thickness, or that's the length of that line. So it's a very small little line, 1/4 of a mil in length. Now if we select this, and I'll call up my properties, that's either Control and 1, or I can right click on it and choose properties. That's going to do the same thing. And with this selected, come down to global width and change that to 0.1 and then enter. And then we can close this down again, because I can collapse it maybe. And if I make sure it's text only, icons only, that'll be a lot easier. So it's going to auto hide. And then we'll find that this thing is just now a little stubby line that we can now array. Now before we do the array, or if you want to do the array first and then we can sort of update the array, that would probably be slightly easier. Instead of creating 3 arrays, we can copy the one array twice and then change the value. So this is the power of doing this sort of stuff. Choose the array tool and mark our center point, which is the center snap on this circle here, and then change the value of this to, I think it's 20, might be 30, no, it's 30 for this one, and then hit enter. So that's created that at 30. Now if we select this array, and then we can go to the home tab and copy this array from that center point to that center point and to this center point, and then select this one, and this is only 20 units, so we can change that to 20. Whoops, 20, 20, enter. And this one is going to be 60, so we change that to 6 and enter. Seems to update the whole thing. 60 and enter. So we've created the array, we've copied the array, and then we've updated the array as well. Okay, so that's a nice little way to do that. We've only going to now put in some little boxes. So again, it's the rectangle tool that we're going to use this time, and the positions are this one is going to be, the start is 4 and minus 0.75, and we've got 2.5 and 1.5, 2.5x, 1.5y, so it's 4 and minus 0.75. So choose the rectangle tool, and again 4, minus 0.75, enter. That's the start point, and now we can make it 2.5, 1.5, enter, and that positions that there. The other one is 10.5 minus 0.75 and 1.5 by 1.5. So again, we can right click and repeat rectangle, and this time it's 10.5, minus 0.75, enter. And then the next point is 1.5, 1.5, enter. So that creates our 2 rectangles. We're going to put our text for the date, or the day and the date in this one. So that's pretty much page 3 sorted. So we'll move on now to the next page, where we'll create some text styles called day date, and we will position that there, and we'll call this one tenths, and we'll position the information on these as well. So when we put these in, we will not rotate the array, we'll just leave them unrotated so that they are sort of easy to read. Okay, so that's the next step.